Section 9 of Letters of Ulysses S. Grant to his father and his youngest sister, 1857 78. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Jim Clevenger. Letters of Ulysses S. Grant to his father and his youngest sister, 1857 78, by Ulysses S. Grant, Section 9. Rangoon, Burma, March 20th, 1879. My dear Mr. Kramer, we have now been very well through India, and are this far on our way to the further East. The weather has been pleasant until within the last few days, but now it is becoming very warm, and as we have yet to go through the Straits of Malacca near the equator before turning north, we must expect some discomfort. I have been very much pleased with English rule and English hospitality in India. With that rule, 250 millions of uncivilized people are living at peace with each other, and are not only drawing their subsistence from the soil, but are exporting a large excess over imports from it. It would be a sad day for the people of India and for the commerce of the world if the English should withdraw. We hope to be in Hong Kong by the middle of April, and further north in China as soon thereafter as possible. When a good climate is reached, we shall regulate our further movements by the reports of weather on seas to be traversed, and climate of places to be visited. At present, however, we expect to reach San Francisco about the first half of July. Although homesick to be settled down, I dread getting back. The clamor of the partisan and so-called independent press will be such as to make life there unpleasant for a time. Mrs. Grant joins me in love to you, Mary, and the children. I have to-day written a letter to Mr. Corbin. Very truly yours, U.S. Grant. P.S. Julia asked me to add, to tell Mary that the English speak in the highest terms of the work being done all through this country by the missionaries, especially in an educational way. They say they are doing much good. To his niece, Clara Kramer. New York City, September 27th, 1883. My dear Clara, on my return from the trip over the North Pacific Railroad to the Pacific Coast last Friday, I found your excellent and welcome letter with enclosures. Your aunt was very much pleased with your letter and poetry, as well as with your essay. They all do you great credit, and I think you can well sustain yourself as a writer with any young lady of your age in this or any other land. My trip over the northern route to the Pacific about completes my personal observation of every part of our country. I was not prepared to see so rich a country, or one so rapidly developing. Across the continent, where but a few years ago the Indian held undisputed sway, there is now a continuous settlement, and every 10 or 15 miles a town or city, each with spires of the schoolhouse and the church. The soil for almost the entire distance is as fertile as that of Illinois. I saw your Aunt Jenny yesterday. She is quite well. All my family are well and join in love to you. I think neither your aunt nor I will ever visit Europe again. We may, however, change our minds. But we are getting a little too old to enjoy traveling, and then we have such pleasant homes for both summer and winter. Love to your father and mother. Yours truly, U.S. Grant. 3 East 66th Street, June 10th, 1884. DEAR CLARA: Your letter, with one from your Aunt Jenny, reached me a few days since. I regret that I have not more cheerful news to write you than I have. Financially, the Grant family is ruined for the present, and by the most stupendous frauds ever perpetrated. But your Aunt Jenny must not fret over it. I still have a home, and as long as I live she shall enjoy it as a matter of right, at least until she recovers what she has lost. Fred is young, active, honest, and intelligent, and will work with a vim to recuperate his losses. Of course his first effort will be to repay his aunts. We go to Long Branch this week. We expect to live with Fred this summer in Morristown, New Jersey, but failing to rent our cottage we will occupy it, and Fred will live with us and rent his if he can. All send love to you, your father and mother, and Aunt Jenny. Yours affectionately, U.S. Grant. To Mrs. Cramer: General Grant was then writing his memoirs. Dr. Cramer was United States Minister to Switzerland from 1881 to 1885. Simpson is U.S. Grant, son of Orville Grant. Reference is made to the customary resignation of diplomatic officials of the party opposed to the incoming political party. Cleveland became President in 1885. New York City, January 13th, 1885. DEAR SISTER: I am just in receipt of Jenny's letter of the 2nd of January. I am busy on my book, which Fred is copying for the press. I hope to have it ready for the press by May next, but I may fail in this on account of weakness. My mouth has been very sore, but not so bad, I think, as the papers have made out, but it has been bad enough. The rest of the family are all well. My advice is that Mr. Cramer does not resign until he is asked to. Simpson I do not suppose will be disturbed in his position. He is very competent and the soul of honor, both qualities wanted in the Sub Treasury. All send love. Yours affectionately, U.S. Grant. Proclamation to the citizens of Paducah: I have come among you, not as an enemy, but as your friend and fellow citizen, not to injure or annoy you, but to respect the rights and to defend and enforce the rights of all loyal citizens. An enemy in rebellion against our common government has taken possession of and planted its guns upon the soil of Kentucky and fired upon our flag. Hickman and Columbus are in his hands. He is moving upon your city. I am here to defend you against this enemy, and to assert and maintain the authority and sovereignty of your government and mine. I have nothing to do with opinions. I shall deal only with armed rebellion and its aiders and abettors. You can pursue your usual avocations without fear or hindrance. The strong arm of the government is here to protect its friends, and to punish only its enemies. Whenever it is manifest that you are able to defend yourselves, to maintain the authority of your government, and protect the rights of all its loyal citizens, I shall withdraw the forces under my command from your city. U.S. Grant, Brigadier General, U.S.A., commanding Paducah, September 6, 1861. End of Section 9. Recording by Jim Clevenger, Little Rock, Arkansas. Jim at joclev.com.